This episode of Keeping Tabs is brought to you by Doot Loot, your one-stop shop for Japanese and Russian foils. If you spend $100 or more, you'll earn free entry into our online CEDH league this month. So don't miss out and upgrade your deck's bling today.
Welcome to Critical EDH Keeping Tabs, where we're bringing you the Fellowship of the Fishbowl. I'm Eric, and I'm here today with
Jordan.
And we are so excited to talk to you guys about Fishbowl and all the other things that are going on in CEDH this week, as we are wont to do. It was so much fun. I think basically the whole team traveled, and basically anybody I think I've ever met in CEDH was actually at this tournament. It was so much fun. I don't think either of us made top 16. We'll talk about top 16 later, but what were some of your highlights from the event, just real quick?
Yeah, Colorado rolled super deep. Like, outside of the fact that all five of us from Critical were there was probably, I don't know, 10, 15 people from home that were there, which was really sick.
Yeah.
Getting to be like both new to the team and new to the format, but have so many people that just felt like connections who I could already like relate to and interact with was really cool. And then I've never had the experience of competing at an event that large, so that was incredible.
Oh yeah, big tournaments like that are a whole other beast. It was a 2-day tournament, and it was one of the first times I've been in a tournament, or at least I think potentially even the CDH has done something like this, where you had to make a certain point cutoff by day one in order to be invited back for the main event, which I thought was super fun. That the pressure was on, but in a way that really inspired me to like be playing my best. And I think I'm super always excited with the stuff that Hire does as a TO, because I feel like he's obsessed with player experience. And so I got to talk to him a couple times at the tournament, and so that was really, really fun. And yeah, it's great to see the Colorado guys. Got to see some of the people that I've coached there. It was great to play in a tournament with them and see how they were doing. You know who you are, as well as meet new people. I was in a game with a Rowan player, and then someone was like, "We gotta watch out for this Rowan. Have you ever played against Rowan?" And I was like, "Yeah, we've got like a guy who plays Rowan in my locals." And they're like, "Well, this is like the Rowan guy." And I was like, "I thought my Rowan guy was the Rowan guy." And that's how I met Anthony, and it's just all sorts of stuff like this. And then Lobbycon was so much fun. Shout out! I'm calling out the Mind Over Meta guys. Adam, you were the Lord of Lobbycon. He brought so many decks for people to play. He had this huge binder, and he supplied basically everyone with beverages. But it was so much fun. Your aura was immaculate, and just hanging out in the hotel lobby, it was so much fun. It was a great time. Speaking of great times at tournaments, one of the sponsors that we have for this video is actually New Jersey CEDH. From what I've been told, these are the same people who brought us the sinkhole previously, but instead of this one going into the ground, I don't know anything about sinkhole. I'm so sorry.
No, the sinkhole event was awesome.
It was all
great.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just word associating my way through this addery. It's on December 21st. It's in New Jersey, and it's called the Solstice. Have you ever been to New Jersey, Jordan?
Yeah, I lived there for 2 years.
Actually. Whoa, that's great. I was not expecting that answer when I asked that.
Yeah. I actually lived like relatively close to here, so it was funny when Logan pulled up this slide that's where it was going to be.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, hopefully we can make a trip home and play in the Solstice. I got the chance to play some of the New Jersey guys at CDH, and you guys are a whole other beast. Geez, yeah, those New England guys are something else when it comes to CEDH. So if you're in the area, or if you're looking for a place to travel in the New Year's, hit one up right before you go to Christmas. This might be a good one to sign up for. So huge shout outs to New Jersey CEDH for kind of sponsoring and helping us help them. Speaking of people helping us, one of our, wow, I'm really blanking here. It's just, head empty. Jordan, I need you to jump in.
We have a, I guess, like sponsorship or a deal with Manava Proxies. So someone who's like super active and playing in our league as well. We appreciate this a lot. But I actually got to talk to him about this business at Fishbowl, but it sounds like it kind of was born out of nothing and now is this huge thing that he's just kind of running with. It's really cool to have someone who's both in the community and is so active in the community, but also you don't have to deal with the never-ending tariff situation to get your proxies anymore.
Oh my word, that is real. Yeah. Oh.
Great quality, really easily accessible, and we have an affiliate link with them that I know for sure is at least through this month, and I believe it is manavaproxies.com/crit.
Yeah. Code crit at checkout. Notorious, the guy who runs this, was actually really, really nice to give out pricing for some of the bronze events we ran in Lobbycon.
Oh, that was him, the Archidaxic guy?
Yeah.
Oh, way to go, Notorious.
Yeah.
Something I love about this is I feel like proxies are as synonymous with CDH as politicking and ristic study. Like I think one of the things that sets our format apart is that we play with these super duper powerful cards that like 90% of us order at like pennies to the dollar from NPC autofill. But I think to be able to have access to like a slightly higher tier, whether it's like a metal card or a foil version, I know all of us have experienced that feeling of like, I love this card, it captures the spirit of the list, I really want to buy this Surge foil Lord of the Rings thing, but unfortunately I haven't won like 8 lotteries yet, so I just can't afford to get it from Card Kingdom. And so I think I really like having access to other alternatives like this. So thank you, Notorious, for sponsoring us and for being in the biz and doing what it is that you're doing.
Also, a special shout out for bailing me out by bringing me cards for Fishbowl. My cards weren't at my house by the time I left, so I had him print me like a special order for some garbage, actual garbage cards.
Way to go.
Yeah.
If you lost to Gwenham in Fishbowl.
He also does, I don't know if this is an all the time thing, but he did prizing for, I think it was the top 4 at Fishbowl.
Yeah.
Like the big metal versions of your commander or whatever you wanted to do. Like he slapped that on the table for some BDE.
Oh, that's so
it's
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
really cool.
also he's offering like a Hall of Champions type thing, where if you top 4 these larger events, you get your deck immortalized on the site, and then you can just like one click buy the deck as it was, and then you can have that championship style deck to yourself.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, we are going to talk about the Fishbowl Top 16 and Top 4 later, but if you want to check it out now, use our affiliate link in the comments. I think this is the first affiliate link that we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool.
Speaking of, we're on Fishbowl.
Fishbowl. We're going to be talking about it a lot this episode because boy it is such an experience. I think for me, I feel like I've said this before, if you've never been to a big tournament, keep an eye on when Fishbowls are happening and go to them. There's a hotel super close to the venue. It's just a nonstop party. And I feel like nothing says nonstop party like the top 16 of this tournament. If you asked me a week ago to predict the decks that would be in the top, we've got multiple Ralls, multiple Dardus, a Gwenham from some glutton for punishment, multiple Arkham Daxons. Like, this is crazy. I would not have expected this. I think a lot of times, especially recently, the conversation around CDH has been this idea that it's like relatively like stagnant, or if you want to be successful, there's really only 2 commanders. I know we're all thinking about, I'm just going to say them, Bruce Kimball. But to see so much diverse representation of different archetypes, I mean, I know in my games, I feel like I played against Turbo, a little bit of mid-range, and a lot of stacks. I feel like I saw everything. I mean, Jordan, I would love to hear from you some of the standout moments of like, games that you're in where you're like, how did this end up here?
Oh man, I mean, just to like walk back briefly from that, I think the experience of, I committed probably at least 7 like accidental GRVs because I was like palpitating in my first game. I'm like, summoning sick creature, attack for sure. Tutor, like just the experience of playing in a room that large with that many people at that level of intensity was something I thought I had correctly anticipated and was not at all prepared for.
Yeah.
But other than that, the meta, like, I saw past turn 4 once, I think. I saw 1 Rhystic Study, and I saw 1 Mystic Remora that got misstepped. And other than that, there was
Good
like,
work.
doing the Lord's work with that one. The 1 Rhystic Study I saw was from a 4th seat, who in that situation it did end up getting him there. But like from what I've heard from a lot of you guys, like, and other people in the tournament, the studies we did see didn't do anything. Like that was not the game that was to be played in this Fishbowl. Like if you tapped out for study, you died. It was kind of what happened.
Yeah, I think I definitely had the experience of like 1 or 2 Blue Farm pilots tapping out for Timno with the expectation that they were going to get another turn, and then it just didn't happen. It seemed like things were going really fast. But even in games where there was a Turbo player attempting to set the pace, oftentimes I was in games where there was a Stacks player equally meeting them like blow for blow with like a stacks piece. So I was super comfortable and really glad that I brought Lumra, a deck that I feel like is able to kind of navigate both like more turbo or kind of like stacked out board states. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see moving forward how the meta adapts to decks needing to be both turbo and stacks. Seeing that like at least the cookie cutter mid range that we've been playing in recently just didn't seem to be able to cross the finish line. And so it'll be interesting if people just put Mirror Maid and Copy Enchantment back in it, and that's enough. Or if we're going to start seeing people brew stacks with potential Avatar of the Last Airbender commanders. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about that later. Or, you know, turbo into stacks pieces, a little bit A, a little bit B, with some household partner names. But I love getting to see not only a combination of players like Jason and Evan Freedom Waffle, who are, you know, they are familiar with the top 4, top 16 table, but also we get to see some you know, big names in here of people who have not necessarily either been to a lot of tournaments or aren't really household names when it comes to tournament grinders. One that stands out to me is actually the person that won, who I don't know if I'd ever gotten the chance to meet before this, Sylvie, who I believe you're actually going to be interviewing later this week.
Yeah, Sylvie and I are going to talk on Friday. I was like, thought I was being so proactive. I'm like, we're going to be the first interview, and then Zach dropped his today, so he beat us to it.
Yeah, he's local. He gets a free pass.
Yeah. But yeah, Sylvie and I are going to talk on Friday, and it's funny because like Sylvie is someone that is quite active in the Dargo Discord and like had been participating, but wasn't anyone I had ever been familiar with.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of checking, you know, obviously as we do, Top Deck as the weekend's going on, and it's like, I'm looking out for who all the Dardo pilots are because I want confirmation bias that I made a good choice even though I can't win.
Yeah. Good work, Jordan. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I did good. And then like I'm just watching Sylvie and Juan, but like Sylvie in particular, just like cook people. And then it's through the grapevine. It's like turn 2 Pier in the Abyss is really good actually.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's just, and from what I've gotten to hear and experience from like the Croach and some other people who know Sylvie, like, even though she's not someone who's been a tournament grinder, it's been like a lot of work and like she plays at a very high level, and to be able to show up and just take down something like this, like the largest West Coast event of all time, I think is incredible. It's really exciting.
Yeah, I think I find it really exciting as I got the huge privilege of getting to travel tournaments left, right, and center in this last Top Deck season, and it was so much fun. But looking at the next couple months, I think the main place I'm going to be kind of consuming CDH is my locals. And it's hard not to have the question of like, oh, am I even going to be able to compete with like these titans of like the format? Because I feel like every tournament I've ever gone to, like Evan Freedom Waffle Pierce is there, you know, or you see these people who just weekend after weekend are grinding. And I think to have this story of someone who like, for the most part, they've played at their locals and they focus on clean, good play. And then also, for you know, smoke on the street is that Sylvie is just an all-around like awesome person.
Yeah.
I wasn't hearing anyone talk about like, oh, you know, I lost to Dardo, but the thing that, you know, annoys me most is they're a terrible person who I hate on a personal level. You know, and sometimes we run into that issue in being in a very, very competitive format. It's understandable that people, like, we want to win. Like that's, I want to win. I wish I won more games at Fishbowl.
Yeah.
But a lot of the pods where I didn't win, there was still this kind of like social air where no one was like walking away like crying or like, that's it, I'm never playing another CDH game again. And so I also really, really like to see a CDH kind of like, you know, blossoming like celebrity who's like holistically just like a rock star.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really good for our format to have these people, especially, you know, thinking back to when me and Logan covered Land Go when Kellen won on Dardo. When I think of like textbook CDH, I don't know if I necessarily think of like Tim Dargo, or if I think of something that's going to come out of the woodwork and snipe a tournament, I'm not quite sure Mardu is the colors that come to mind. I would expect something more like Grixis or Simic. And so I always just find it really, really inspiring to see a player just have a real solid tournament run and just do it. They won. Like, congrats, Sylvie, way to go.
Well, and like the list went through a lot of almost like a period of struggle after, yes, Kellen like destroyed people at the beginning of the year, and then he felt like after the envy, from talking to him, there was like a lot of a struggle of identity for the deck. And like people like Sylvie and JB and a few other people came in, but like Sylvie made card choices that nobody else was or is on, I think, at the time. And like made some really interesting meta calls, like cutting Pyroblast for Touch the Spirit Realm, and just like little stuff that ultimately ended up being super relevant. And so I think, as both a brewer and a player, like this weekend was a testament to her skill. So hopefully we'll see more.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to catch your interview with her afterwards.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the top 16 was also super duper cool. Just like you said, it's I think historically top 16s in the past like this. For instance, the Invitational comes to mind of it's just blue farm on blue farm on blue farm on blue farm, which is understunderstable. Like statistically,
To be fair, there were 4 in the top 16.
That's
which is
true.
a quarter of the top 16.
that is true. That's 25%. A whole. If you get a couple of those, you have $1.
That's a really healthy meta, though. I think.
Yeah.
Like if the top deck of the format, like universally agreed upon top deck of the format, is only a quarter of the top 16, I think that's like a good thing. I think that's awesome.
And I think for me, it puts the pressure back on Blue Farm of like how are they going to like start teching against these lists, because I think what I've always been really really interested about when it comes to Blue Farm is not as this kind of like homogenous sans green deck that just smothers the format, but more this really versatile mid-range pile that can pivot to turbo as needed or in more of a backseat kind of like control-y shell. And so if we start to see this movement away from mid-range into this bifurcated turbo stacks, I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see as versatile a deck as Blue Farm, how it tries to navigate those board states. Does it just like triple down and commit to the control game plan and just counter whatever the first big bad spell it sees is? Does it just move faster? Are we going to see Tymna on Necro Dominance? Whoa!
No, but
there's literally no way.
we are gonna. I think we're gonna see like a lot more strict Serenade.
Ooh.
It's like one card that I've been thinking about a lot, because if our meta is going to be progressively more Atalis, Dardus, like these previously hard to interact with creature lines, like I think that is one natural choice that gets made. But I think that like Blue Farm has to be played more proactively in this meta, I think. But we'll see.
We can see that by the results too. I know that Jason and Max P were both on very proactive Blue Farm lists and very turbo slanted lists, where I know that Zach is a little bit on the back foot with like a little bit more towards mid range. And I know in Blue Farm that accounts for maybe 5 cards or something that are different. But to me, I think they're pretty major differences.
Yeah, well, I mean, Logan, you took Blue Farm to Fishbowl. Are there any big changes you're looking to make to your list afterwards?
No, the list felt excellent. I think I ran into Jason in round 7, so that's why I didn't make the win-in.
The unstoppable force meets the immovable object. The tale is old as time.
With another Colorado local.
With
in that pod.
Yeah, I was at 13 points in round 6, and another 5 points gets me to 18, which is well positioned into top 16. So, I mean, it was a hard-fought game either way. It went to time, but I think the deck felt really excellent. I was able to put really early pushes on the stack on like turn 2 in one game, and turn 3 from 4 seat on a mull to 3 in another. So I mean, just the ability to do that, especially in a deck that is pretty known for being a mid-range pile, is I think that's where it needs to be right now.
Yeah, like mid-range gets its M from like Tymna and Crom. Like, I think it is the mid-range deck, and yeah, I think you've made it like a lot of things, like cutting like Ranger Captain and stuff like that.
I went 2 days casting Tymna 0 times. I cast Crom twice.
You should have brought Brea, man.
I don't know, Crom's great.
Crom actually is. I saw Crom cast a lot this tournament. Also, another part of the crew behind the scene, Austin. I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts. I feel like you brought like the most turbo tilt deck to Fishbowl.
Austin got 12th, by the way. Like he made top 16 on Gwen.
I think. Yeah, you see this guy?
The meta, I did not see past turn 3.
Yep.
Except for my first game, which was a turbo pod that a Rall kept a Vexing Bobble. And in multiple of my games, there were someone won on turn 3, and the rest of the pod was like, yeah, I was jamming and winning on my turn as well. This meta was incredibly fast, but we also did see a ton of stacks players, just like you guys are saying, like towards the there was 3 or 4 players that were at 12 points at the end of day 1.
I ran into Naya Minsk twice in Swiss.
And like Tyam had a pretty good showing. Rog Tevish had a really good showing. Like I think this meta was incredibly diverse, and this tournament was amazing. Like, I truly do think that this tournament was a giant middle finger to Rhystic Study, because every time I saw that card get cast, they lost the game, except for one Arkham that it wouldn't have saved them, but they just had the nuts. Like, yeah, I mean, realistically, like, Rall pushes through Rhystic Study, Gwenem pushes through Rhystic Study, Kinnon's gonna clone Rhystic Study. But like in reality, I really, really, really enjoyed this tournament and the meta calls that were made. Gwenem felt amazing, by the way.
You bring up stacks, but notice what's absent from top 16?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like there was a lot of players that were on the cusp and then didn't win their win-ins.
I still think the archetype's not good enough.
I think it's close.
I
really do.
I would be super curious to hear. Right, I feel like at least for me, the last month or so was all about like Fishbowl. So decks I played, I was either practicing for Fishbowl or I was practicing against the matchup. So now I feel like I'm going to move from playing Lumra, which is my game plan, to and I played so much Roxai and like Lobbycon. I played Roxai for 13 hours straight. So I am now kind of moving.
Wait, when did you do that?
Dropped from the tournament after I lost my first win. Hang out just to either celebrate or be a shoulder to cry on for people who did or did not make it in the top 16. And then we all wanted lunch, and I was like, guys, hang on. What if we just go to the hotel, sit next to the air conditioner, and then have lunch come to us? And then I did not move. The only reason I got up was because I made it into top 4 at one of the Bronzathon events, and so I had
you were
to.
there till like 3 a.m., right?
Yeah, I was there so long. It was so much fun. But suffice to say, I'm a little Grixis'd out. So I'm planning on rotating into Kinnon and Rockthrast at least for like a week or two, just to refresh myself on what those decks are doing, so that when I play against them in tournaments, I'm like that much more confident about being like, okay, I realize Finale of Devastation for 2 isn't as scary as you may think. But allow me to fearmonger you. This is a Cloud of Fairies, and you're about to lose real fucking bad. Well, what about you guys? What are you guys planning on playing? PF post fish, PFB post Fishbowl. That's what that stands for.
Actually, really well done. I'm staying on Timid Dargo.
Stay on Dargo. Stay in the course.
Yeah,
the Marty way, the Marty man.
I changed to be a more proactive version. I mean, the deck's supposed to be proactive, but it's not as turbo as people. You sit down in a pod and people are like, oh, Timid Dargo's trying to go like fast, and that's like. Yeah.
People think it's faster than Roxai.
That's not true.
Anecdotally, and I don't think experientially that's true.
No.
I figure Timid Dargo is a turn 3 push. Like that's when I'm expecting their big push is a turn 3.
Yeah, I think the version that Sylvie brought is much more reliable turn 3. Turn 4 was like guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I made some changes that were like, I put goblins back in. I did some like much more mid-range facing things that into this meta were like really poor choices. But yeah, I'm going to stay the course. I'm not going to change until I make top cuts in at least some event on it.
That's awesome. I think that's a really good goal. Like you're a good player. I think you can trust that you've got enough like fundamentals beneath you. And we live in Colorado where we are spoiled with tournaments. So it makes sense to me that as a player, as you're looking to kind of like find like goals to set for yourself, top 4ing or taking down like a bronze or silver tournament with the deck, I think is very achievable. Austin, what about you?
I've been brewing Atraxa kind of behind the scenes, and I played it a few times at Lobbycon, and the deck feels really, really good. I don't know if it's good in this meta specifically. Like I want the meta to be like maybe a half turn slower for Atraxa to really like feel amazing. But getting 2 extra Smothering Tithes here soon helps.
Oh yeah.
I am gonna.
That card is such a trap. It's a 2-mana Duno thing.
I'm gonna continue playing Gwenem because the deck is really fun and it takes 0 mental energy to play that deck, which I think was a huge benefit for me in Fishbowl. Like, just casting things off the top is you don't have to think very much. It's kind of nice. And then I was thoroughly impressed by this Rog Tevish deck that was apparently cooking people in Swiss, and I looked at it and it looks super fun.
I'm gonna help you
for
with that.
maybe me. That's it.
Yeah, RogTap definitely has a storied history in Colorado, and then also Turbo Atraxa, I think, is way more of a thing than people think it is. Like a month or two ago, if I was at a tournament and someone that said they were on Turbo Atraxa, in my mind, I'm like, okay, there's only 2 players I have to get through to win. And then since then, I've been like proven wrong. Yep. Like it's weird for me to think of like a Turbo deck as having this crazy expensive commander, but I feel like you just shove it full of like mana and combo pieces, and then if you're not able to get there, you then cast your commander to refill back up your mana.
It's the Kafka plan, and I think Atraxa is actually a strictly better Kafka plan. Maybe that's a hot take, but I think it probably is.
That's okay. Cody will no doubt jump in our comments and agree with you. Keep it up, Cody. Brewing Atraxa the Turbo way. Logan, what about you? What's next? What's next? Are you gonna cap out on bronze with Woodburn as well?
I mean, I think like I'm gonna be starting to play other stuff now that Fishbowl is behind me, but Farm has just been feeling really good, and it doesn't feel easy, and it doesn't feel like second nature to me quite yet. Where I'm still like learning stuff from the deck, and I feel like I'm pushing the limits of what the deck can do based on like the build that I'm using. But there is another commander that has piqued my interest, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. The Librarian is like, I think it's a really, really cool control deck, and it seems really flexible given that I don't know what to do with 10 cards in the list, but we'll talk about it.
I want to say 2 more things. Maybe we'll continue to talk about Fishbowl. First and foremost, you brought up Lobbycon. The game that it was you, me, Jason, and Matt. It was one of the most fun games I played the entire weekend.
It was so good.
Where Logan took a picture of me appearing as if I'm about to murder somebody somewhere in there. But I had Jason on the ropes. I had Grand Abolisher on the stack. They had already fought each other. You were dead. And
it happens.
It happens. That might have been a mystery OBM. And Jason decons for VFC, and it's literally the last card in his deck. Exiles every possible win condition he still had. Cast VFC, cast Meme Bet because he knew my only way out was a breach line. And he said, draw. So anyway, that was the thing that happened.
The guy, like if you put him in a corner as like a caged animal, he will figure a way out. He'll eat you like through your stomach to get out of that corner.
His favorite thing in the world is winning, and his least favorite thing is someone else winning. And that is like nothing says more like that makes him in my mind like a CDH like professional.
Oh,
dude, it's even worse when it's one of us too. Like if it's someone else like in Colorado, it's like okay, like he'll take it on the cheek sometimes. Yeah. But like if it's one of us that's about to win the game, he's like absolutely fucking not.
No.
Yeah, Jason Doan would literally rather go to jail for murdering one of us than go to top 16 on one of us like lifting him up like okay, I'm just gonna scheming symmetry and then give Jason the win. He would never talk to me again because I'd be 6 feet under baby.
We had such a hard game in round 7, and not to talk about the specifics that happened in the game because that doesn't really matter. But I just think it's so funny when we were talking about collusion on the distraction makers, and I'm just like, I really don't think you know me or like the people I play with. Like it's just not, man. Like I want to destroy Jason in game. Like there's.
Dude, with Jason's last breath in our top 16 game, he decides to brain freeze me, so I have no chance of winning. He's like, just concede, motherfucker. And I'm like, okay.
Here's that photo, Jim.
Oh, yeah. That is where I'm known as now on the internet everywhere. But that,
my man's dialed in.
It was like, it's so interesting because like y'all's winning in was you two, but then also another Colorado local.
Yeah, Josh.
And then, who was cooking people on Siam all weekend, speaking of stacks pilots. And then in top 16, it was Austin and Jason. And like, the collusion thing is funny to me with that in mind. And then the second thing I wanted to mention was like, I saw some shit at Fishbowl.
Oh yeah, dude, you were in the trenches.
I
was like, oh, this is summer camp. You're like, this is fucking the Great War.
I saw some weird shit. My first game was after the player meeting. It was a 4-player pod where first seat never showed up. Somehow after the player meeting,
which is so insane.
That's wild.
Like they sat down, I guess, and were just like, "Nah, actually, fuck this shit. I'm out. Like I want no part of this." And then I saw a Treebeard stacks deck that was trying to win by punching people in the face with a giant tree.
Stay down. That's my impression of Treebeard.
Did you guys see this picture of Wayne?
That's awesome.
Oh, way to go!
They had this like pointer, and every time I would be like, "Where's the trigger?" They'd be like. Point. Sorry.
Dude, no, you're good.
Boros Wayne, you are a gem to the CDH community and must be protected at all costs. Also, if you ever come off Zerta, you may have an identity crisis. I'm going to have an even bigger one. Okay, go back.
Yeah, my Dark Writ so turn 1, 4th seat Dark Writ. We all know where this is going. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a Necro. They don't even let me get to the Necro. They swan-songed my Dark Writ.
Holy cow.
That was sad. Yeah, it was a weird weekend for me. I think there was like a hefty dose of copium in one hand, and then a hefty dose of like, no, that was just weird all weekend. But like I made it today too. That was my goal, and I feel really good about that. And like the fact that 3 of the 5 of us now are in the top 20 on the invitational leaderboard.
We have a slide for that somewhere.
Way to go.
And then all 5 of us made it today too. Is like that
felt really good. Yeah, I was like, oh please God. That's actually super interesting. That's something I would love to talk to you about because we were actually talking about that, but before the tournament actually. Is how both me and you have had these seasons of like these kind of like hot streaks, and then the significantly longer, more pronounced like losing streaks. Like I think the first time we ever played against each other was when you basically like top 4'd and took down like a level 7 tournament, basically like 3 weeks in a row. But then you talked to it's a place that you haven't really been back to. And then I had a somewhat similar streak like earlier in this year where I did really, really well. But then, I didn't switch decks, I didn't change lists, I just started losing. And how, after like a big tournament like this, when it comes to me and like competing, I'm trying really, really hard to play the long game. So I both really want to improve in the short term, so the next big tournament I go to, I instead of losing my double win in, I win my double win in. But also I'm trying to like have a like realistic view of like how quickly and how consistently one can grow as a CDH player, and plateaus are like a very, very real part of like being in a competitive format. And I also know that not only are you like a really competitive person in Magic, but you also like do jujitsu, and there's a lot of other aspects of your life where you're like, take your hobbies and things you're passionate about like very seriously. So I'd be super curious to hear what some of your thoughts are of like, what are ways that you're looking to like evaluate and you're comfortable being critical of like, these are areas I really, really need to improve. I am better than the way I played it in that game, versus other areas where maybe you're a little bit more compassionate of like, well, okay, yes, there are things I could have done differently, but I only know that now because of like hindsight, and so I really can't beat myself up for that. I'd love to hear kind of talk through some of your rationale or the look through growing as a player post-tournament through Jordan's eyes.
Yeah, well, first, just so the comment section can roast me for this, I think the first or second game we ever played was actually when I commandeered your Summoner's Pact in Grixis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Which is not a thing that you should do.
In your defense, it was in Japanese.
It was in Japanese. That's my out for that situation.
And you asked what the card did, and I said it allows me to tutor any card, any creature in my deck to hand.
I did not clarify. I didn't ask about the color of the creature.
How quickly did you pass priority?
If you guys watched our previous video where we talk about best ball takers, and there's this rumor going around that I'm a big bullshitter, here to confirm the facts. I am in CDH to stir shit up, and I'm so sorry.
Dude, Jax was also in that pod, and the snap pass was almost like in unison, and then you're like, okay, you can go find your green creature now. Like, what?
I felt really bad for you. Yeah.
Oh, dude, no,
man, and you were in the ringer after that. You were, I could tell like mentally, you were like, there were 2 U's in your head, and one of them one version of you was a punching bag and the other version of you was doing.
That's kind of the relevant segue to this weekend. Is that was like most of my experience this weekend was feeling as if I was letting myself down, like whatever expectation I had, like. As I'm actively meeting the goal I had set out for myself of making it to day 2, it's like I'm still having a bad time. And so I think the things that I'm thinking about moving forward is if I'm going to continue to play Tim Dargo long term, like there were a lot of plays I made to not lose instead of to be proactive and put wins on the stack.
Oh, that's such a small difference, but it has such a big impact in games. I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I had a turn 0 Vamp Tutor into a Magda, Chatterfang, and then a Green Goblin. And I'm like, oh, so as to not die, I can have a turn 1 Mayhem Devil. Because that just kills them.
Yeah.
And then I have
host.
Time.
Yeah.
And I should have just grabbed Voice Victory, and then I had a turn 3 Protected win, and like I didn't see that until way after the fact, or actually it might have even been turn 2, but like it was just little things like that where I was actively being like, what do I need to do to get another turn instead of what do I need to do to like put these people in the ground? And that's something that like I need to be a lot more aware of and like kind of consciously coach myself through in games. At least playing that deck, like that's not really something I can get away with.
So now that, and you said that one of the goals you have is like take down a tournament with Tim Dargo. What are some of those context clues you're looking for in situations like that? Either like internally, like a thought pattern of like wow, the word Mayhem Devil has come up like 3 times.
Yeah.
Jordan, stop it. Or like in boards or on board to be like, these are situations where I usually play it safe, but I know experientially from those games in Fishbowl that I'm supposed to push. I need to get a Voice of Victory on board.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I do a lot of when I look back on games, I realize that like my gut feeling was usually correct, and I talk myself out of it. For whatever combination of reasons, right?
That's fascinating.
And so I think what I need to get a lot better at is listening to what I actually think is correct, and trusting that that's the case, and then like learning through the process of failing at that rather than. It's a weird position to put yourself in where like. Not to get too philosophical about it, but it's like I can almost act as if it's not my fault that I lost when I make choices that don't put anything on the line.
Oh, wow, that is super thought-provoking. Yeah, keep going.
But yeah, like if I'm the one who is like pushing the envelope and like making things happen, and just like I know Austin spent all weekend just being like, I'm going to tendrils you. Like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And being a lot more willing to put myself on the line in that way, I think will take me a lot further than the opposite side of the coin I was on, which is like, I'm gonna make okay choices maybe that are kind of safe here.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the me and my wife will send TikToks to each other, and then we'll watch them together. And we send so many TikToks, it's basically like a movie length. But sometimes we'll send the same one. It's hilarious, and we laugh over it. One that we both sent each other about 2 or 3 weeks ago was it's this GIF of like Godzilla crashing through Tokyo, and it's like Godzilla never worries about taking up too much space. Neither should you. And I feel like that's where I am in CDH because I feel like I am a very anxious and like. I hate making decisions. I get analysis paralysis so easy. So if I'm in game and there's an opportunity to like play it safe, get like a solid, like a B plus A minus value engine out, that's always a very, very like seductive almost like play pattern. But I think watching players, like I think Tim is fantastic at this. Like when he's playing, he is like always in his villain arc. Yeah. He's like, you guys are gonna have to get through me to get to the win because I'm already halfway down the track. And I think I've tried to more and more try to like just like be the one taking game actions. You know, Pontus actually talks about that's one of the reasons he loves all the extra turn spells in like Mardu is because like it doesn't play super well at like flash speed. So if I want to be playing CDH, it has to be my turn. And so I want to make sure it's my turn for as much of the game as possible. And when you are in that kind of like taking very active, very aggressive game actions, I feel like you just get so much more data about your like play patterns and where it is that you can improve. Because if you're trying to analyze 1 or 2 counter spells that you used over like a 2-hour game versus like how you resolved an ad nausea on like turn 2, you just have so much more information to work with, and it's a lot easier to then go to a more experienced player and be like, okay, so I stopped, at like 5 life. I really don't think I could have like ad-nosed any further, but is there a way that I could have sequenced this better? It definitely puts a lot more on the line. It can be really scary, but I think I have found that kind of like pushing for those wins has given me more opportunities to evaluate how I play and improve as a player.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think one other thing, like speaking of going to the kind of higher level player and be like, here's what I did, can we talk through this? Something I didn't do at all this weekend was like, I mean, Logan came up to me on Sunday night and he was like, I feel like I haven't seen you all weekend. Like, how did it go for you? Like, I disappeared. I would like play my game and then go hide. Because I was either like so actively frustrated or like just needing to get into the headspace of getting to the next game that like I didn't lean on anyone on the team or anywhere else for help in that way. Which is funny because that's something you and I had talked about the night before.
Are you a hugger? Do you receive hugs? Do you give hugs?
Yes to both usually, yeah.
I walked around Fishbowl for 2 days giving everyone I knew a hug. And I was like, you know what? I'm just happy to be here. Like, I'm just like, whether I had a good game or a bad game, like especially Kevin. Like Kevin and I, every time we go to a tournament together like this, like he and I did not travel together to be clear, but like he's from our local scene, and every time that I'm at a tournament with Kevin, we always seem to end up either in the like same bracket or same kind of position. If you look at our standings in this tournament, I finished 39th, he finished 40th. Like we're right there with each other. Yeah. It always seems to be that way. And I mean, he was pretty emotional after one game. I was like, dude, just like, I gave him a big hug and like, I think that is really important. Like if you have a support system, if you have a team with you, it doesn't matter. Like you gotta be there for them. You gotta be willing to also like, open yourself up to that. And I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying that.
Well, that's something I think Austin also did really well. Is I saw both you guys giving out hugs, and then you bring up Kevin. Kevin blows more kisses than CEDH.
I think I literally have a photo of him.
I'm always at tournaments like, and I think that that's I think. Like support systems are like super duper valuable, but also I think it's important to find a support system that works for you. Something that I think I find like really, really funny is I am like a habitual snacker, and then especially as someone who both like relies on politics more than gameplay because I'm a little bit of a trash CEDH player, but also gets really, really hangry. Those two streams cannot mix, or else I'm gonna be in like turn 4 being like, this has to resolve.
I think there was a game like months ago where you and I were like raising our voices at each other, and I was like, Eric, do you need a snack?
Yes! And so for me, like a support system, I think that'd be a fantastic question. Like if we're kind of like debriefing after round 1, and I'm starting to get like a little pale, and Logan's like, Eric, do you need to like go grab something to eat for like the taco cart? I think that's a good example of like that's a good way that friends can exercise knowledge and push me forward. However, I know that Logan is like the opposite. He like doesn't eat the day before, during, or the day after. Nothing enter or leaves his body until he sees the top 4 table. And so if I'm just like running up to him being, here are these Jolly's Ranchers, here are these Twizzlers, here's these, that's not a good way for me to like support him. And so in the same way, I think it's so important for people to find what works for them, because no one, I realize it's a competitive format. I realize that Sylvie and no one else won Fishbowl, but I'm sure when you talk to Sylvie, she didn't win Fishbowl by herself.
For sure.
No one does. No one does anything great alone. I think that she deserves the honor and the respect of taking Tim the Dargo to the top of Fishbowl and dominating, burning the house down. But also, I'm really looking forward to hearing of the friends that texted her along the way to say you're crushing it, or the people that she went out to dinner with, or all these little things. And so if you're looking at going to a tournament, I would highly, highly recommend either find people to go with you, or find people at home who have time during the weekend that you're there that you can call after you absolutely lose a round. And either they know exactly what's going on, so you can tell them all the very specific details, or they know absolutely nothing about Magic, and they can take you to a world far away where you're just frustrated and they're just there to hear you out. I think that's far more important for tournament success than I think we oftentimes talk about.
I mean, I'll add on to this, like, I full on crashed out at Cookout because I was by myself, right? Like, there were some Colorado folks there, but it wasn't critical EDH, right? And like, this tournament, like I didn't, obviously there was no crashing out because I did very well, but like just the fact of like being able to talk through my rounds with people and people being like, oh, that was a sick line. Like that's, how'd you get out of seat 4 with a point in a quad turbo pod? And I was like, yeah, and just like being able to talk through your rounds like that with people that you love and trust, like it's so much different than being isolated like that. It's a 100% difference.
Yeah, I was so sick and on so much Dayquil that I was making weird mistakes. Looking back, this is me exercising self-compassion. I was making mistakes that I don't normally make because I was in a headspace I'm almost never in. But there were a couple Lumra pilots there. You guys know who you are, and I was super duper grateful because they would come talk to me after the games and they'd be like, hey, you know, I feel like you did really, really well. If you're open to it, here's what I would do if I were in that situation, or I was in some of those situations in another game. And I think that kind of like peer support is also like super duper helpful. You know, because not everyone is going, you know, obviously we're trying, a lot of people are going to get sick, but you just never know what's going to happen when you're in Swiss. You can be in first seat every single time, or if you're like everyone else in the format, you're going to be in fourth seat every single time.
Hey, I've shown my receipts on that, okay?
And you're just going to run up into weird problems. And so I think that like one of the things I want to get better at is like finding out how to win games, but also finding out how to let people help me win games. Not in games, I'm not talking about collusion, don't hear me wrong, but like going with like a team of people. Like we were talking to each other the entire tournament. You know, in between rounds, and you know, whether it was like, hey, you gotta watch out, you know, for this like Rall deck, they're a really good pilot, or if it's like, I am so starving, I'm gonna go grab a soda. Have you had any caffeine today? Okay, let me grab you like a Mountain Dew or something. Like that is literally game changing. They need to put Mountain Dew on the game changer list. Moxfield, you're here first.
Also, shout out to all of our locals that didn't really get to travel with us. Like we have a kind of our own kind of critical EDH and friends chat, and the amount of support that we got in that chat throughout the tournament was just amazing.
We had like 15 or 18 people in there.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
The shout I want to give to is to Matt Hayes. I had like, I
You
was
might as
going-
well be a local.
It
Like,
He doesn't even live on the
He's our
mainland.
local Hawaiian. The Matt Hayes.
the Matt Hayes.
a photo of him.
We were both at one point going into round 5 on day 1. And I was like going into that game like, everything's ruined. I've like totally shot the bed. I'm not even gonna make it to day 2. I haven't even won a game. And I like stumble back out from my hotel room all mad. And there's Matt in his fucking flip-flops and weird Patriots button-up shirt. And he's like,
What
yeah.
the hell was that shirt? That shirt was terrible, man. Don't ever wear that shirt again.
And
Not on the mainland, bud.
Yeah, okay, when you're on island time, sure,
Yeah.
maybe then.
No,
You guys are always on
Yeah, here's
island.
that. This Patriots shirt.
but it,
Wait, hold on. Wait, what
Yeah.
the? I think my
there's got to be a picture of it somewhere.
There has to be.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going with your story. Keep going with your story.
But I walk up to him and I'm talking to him and I'm talking to the coach, and Brian also only had 2 points. And so they're kind of just like, dude, whatever. Like, I scrubbed out today. I'm going to go play in the redemption event. I'm like, these are invitational players. You're not allowed to scrub out. Like, you're supposed to fucking hate yourself right now.
The biggest thing for me, like when that happened, when I noticed it, was at SEG Con, and Pigeon I think like went 0-4 or something like that at SEG Con, and like just shrugged it off. He's like, I know I'm a good player. I don't need to worry about this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine. Like this happens sometimes.
Yeah. No
And-
one game,
Yeah.
no one tournament
No.
ever gets the power to decide who I am as a CDH player.
Yeah.
Like no one has permission to decide who I am but me. And obviously I should take in data about how much I win and or definitely lose at tournaments. But I think it was very much a similar moment for me of like so much respect for Pitch, and I really look up to him as a player in a lot of ways. And he bounced off SCG Con like a basketball. And then he just dropped and left. And I was like, what, you're supposed to be in a miserable mood for like 4 more hours? You're just gonna go leave and have fun with friends? What the fuck are you doing?
Wait, you're talking about SCG Con Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was the tournament. I was like, dang, I thought I was gonna do pretty well here, and like I borrowed a bunch of cards from our local store owner to, you know, have a real time twister for some fucking reason. And I like, you know, ended up scrubbing out just like Pigeon. I sat down with him and an unnamed other local who is now not allowed to play at tournaments, and I was like, damn, like what do you guys like you know, like I don't know that I've felt this way in a while, and they're like, yeah, it happens, and I was like, oh, like you guys are really fucking good, and you're like, yeah, whatever, who cares?
Yeah,
like, that was nice.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing happened at Cookout. Like, after I'd crashed out, I like went and saw Kellen. And he's like, "Yeah, I got cooked. It happens." And I was just like,
"Okay,
huh?
Yeah."
Like I'm in my head about this.
Yeah, I had a similar conversation with Max P because he lost his top 16 game in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, he got turned 2.
He got turned 2. Their game ended before our mulligans were done in my game.
Max P is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if I'm looking to improve play patterns, I mean, his podcast is one that I listen to because I think he's got a really, really great head on his shoulders. And you play against him in games, he's very even-keeled, very like calculated. And then he just gets fucking steamrolled. And so I'm talking to him afterwards, I'm like, yeah, that's rough, man. Like, man, I can only imagine how much you're feeling. You fought so hard to get here, and then it's over before Austin even finished resolving his mulligan, which should be pretty easy because it's mono black. Like those LEDs.
Where's the LED? Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, like it happens. Like there's just one game, and then you play it and you win or you lose.
Yeah, we're not playing best of 3s,
and then you're done. And then I think I so appreciated that, like that same like even keeled that he's like, oh, should I counter this or should I not counter this? He also brings into his top 16 experience of he's like, I lost. Like treating myself like a punching bag isn't going to help me win the next one, especially because he's like a dad. He has a real job. Like he has to go home and return to the real world where no one cares about the fact that he's playing TNK now instead of like TNT. Whereas like for us, it's like this global tectonic shift. And I think that's where like perspective can be really helpful. And I think few people are better at providing perspective in situations like that than friends who know you well and who know what you're going through. So that's where I think that like. Yeah, I know we talk about it all the time, but the gathering side of Magic the Gathering is so important in tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely.
This tournament was interesting for me because last Fishbowl, I found myself in a situation at day 2 where I had to win both games in order to get my win in. Or really, I kind of had to like win 1.5, so like win and draw. This is the previous Fishbowl, so unfortunately I wasn't able to do that and had a pretty emotional game 7, which is like frustrating. But then coming back into this tournament, I was like, you know what? I would really like to do better than that, and did okay day 1. Again, found myself in a situation where I needed to win 2 games on day 2 to get into top 16, and I just was in the elevator going down to the same elevator that was on last time with Eric and this time with Jason, and just thinking to myself like, damn it, like how did I end up in the same fucking position again?
Yeah.
Like I don't, like this is not where I wanted to be as a player.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the, I got to win 2 games and change or whatever to even make the bubble or whatever. And I just said to myself, I was like, you know what? I was unsure I could do it last time. I know I could do it this time. And so game 6, mold. God, I molded terribly low. I was like mold 3 or 4 in 4th seed and managed to pull a win. And I was like, great. This is exactly, I'm starting to turn this around from like my experience last time. And then had a really, really good game in game 7. It was an emotional game, but it wasn't like, it wasn't a big deal. But like Jason ended up getting the win. And I was like, okay, well, I did better than I did last time. And that's kind of like, that was the tournament experience for me. But just being right on the cusp of, I think there was just so many players this tournament that were just like right there, but just didn't make it for 1 game.
Yeah,
I do think it's an interesting thing to talk about, like these larger tournament structures, and if it is going to continue at top 16, like you need to be playing a deck unlike the decks that you play at your local scene. Like you need to be playing a deck that consistently jams. Right, like, and that's why Gwenham was such a meta call for me. Was like the deck just jams on turn 3, 100% of the time, and like we saw it at the Invitational where 50% wins was not enough to make the bubble, right? And like you've heard Zach talk about it.
What do you mean about 50%?
Ian won 50%
in the open.
in the open, not the NB. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
And like we even saw it with like Zach talking about post combat being like, no, I like you need to just win. Like you need to be able to win games and put up wins. And like you can play these different decks at locals where you can play these mid-range games and hope that those points will get you there, because most of the time they do. But when you have 300 people at an event, like sometimes it doesn't get you there, right? Yeah. Like you need, like I was worried about bubbling out at 17.
Yeah.
Both me and Pigeon were sitting there doing tournament math.
Yeah.
And we're like hoping people were crushing dreams, right? Yeah. And like legitimately, we were
Shout
like,
out to you, Cortez.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to do it to him.
but like legitimately, we were both like, dude, like our breakers are good. Like we've done everything we can. Yep. We still don't know if 17 is good enough. Mm-hmm. And thankfully it was. But like, it's so hard in these gigantic tournaments.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think personally, and I would love to hear people's feedback on this, I really enjoyed, and I think it contributed to the health of the tournament experience, that there was a point cutoff. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it a little bit more aggressively rated next time.
Yeah.
Or if we start to see less of like a top 16 and more of a semifinals final situation where like you play like day one and then everyone who got 10 points, you know, comes back the next day forming a tournament.
I would
bracket.
like Swiss to conclude on day one.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't give a shit if we need to play 7 rounds. Swiss needs to be done on day one. Mm-hmm. That way, if you don't make top 16, you can play in redemption event starting, because
I agree.
You know what? I don't want to wake up and think to myself, what are my chances of making top 16 on 13 points? Mm-hmm. You know, I have to do 2 win-ins or whatever, or sorry, 8 points. So I have to do two wins to get 18 points.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, also in the elevator, going, do I just drop and play the redemption event and like?
It's a somewhat violent emotional experience, because you have to hype yourself up for almost like 10 to 12 hours of like, no, I can do this. And then you're in a pod and Zerta has 2 silences and then their combo, and then you're just done. And that's understandable, and that happens, but sure. I mean, my odds of making it were like so low. I definitely would have preferred to have made 8 points and say like, good, not good enough, time to sign for the redemption event.
The other thing I did for myself this tournament, which I think Eric and I, you didn't go to the last Fishbowl, right?
I did, yeah.
He did.
I just wasn't part of Critical EDH.
That's right. That was the difference. Okay. But for me, the difference between the last one and this one was that I felt for this one, I didn't leave any excuses for myself. Mm-hmm. I chose the deck that I thought would perform the best. I practiced and put in the work and all of those things. And then when it came down to it, it's like I mulliganed to put wins on the stack. I didn't, just like Austin said, I didn't really play safe and say, well, I could have, I'm not shitting on Jordan, but I just, I wasn't like, well, I need to stop this person and whatever, because like I don't run cards to stop anyone. I legitimately do not. Like if I can put together a version of stopping someone, which includes like maybe a counterspell or maybe I copy an OBM or something, like great, but ostensibly I do not run those strategies. So just putting it all on the table and saying like, this is what I've got, and this is I feel good about it regardless of like how well I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I did okay.
Yeah, and I think for me that's part of why I like being in a turbo format a little bit more than a mid-range format, is you're not as punished for like giving it everything you got before turn 4. Mm-hmm. Like you can see a really aggressive hand and you can like respond to that. And so that's part I'm really enjoying CEDH right now.
I think it's fantastic.
It's so much fun. Yeah, I think I also really love this kind of like wizard like counterspell battle, snapback, where like you have like these super duper tall like stacks that take like 40 minutes to resolve, or these like stack style games where every tutor takes me like 30 minutes to resolve, because I'm like, how the fuck do I win casting one non-artifact, non-creature spell that can't ETB? Like, I think all those are really interesting like thought puzzles, and so I like being in like a new space, and I look forward and am interested to whatever next space is like in the CEDH meta. But I'm really enjoying being in Turbo.
I'll keep saying it. I can't envision what that looks like, because things are just so up in the air right now.
Yeah,
I'd be curious to get some advice from you guys on this one. I feel like I have permission to win in mid-range games. I don't feel like I have permission to just jam in turbo.
That's so interesting. Can you? I feel like I can see where you're going with the question.
Like you or the deck or what?
I would love to hear more. Like
me myself.
Permission to. Can you tell me a story that kind of like explains or elaborates on the idea of like I have permission to?
Yeah, I think I did really well on wrong side in the league. One, because I think the meta was better situated to that deck.
Yeah.
But wrong side is also a deck that says, just collectively says no for like 3 or 4 turns.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And then
my commander costs 0 and your chances of winning are also 0.
It says no for a while, and like people get to try, and then after you have prevented everyone else from dying, you're like, oh, actually, now that I have done you this kindness, I would like to be the one who kills you.
Oh, that's so real.
Versus turbo is just like, I don't care at all, actually. I'm going to win now. And that's just like a weird experience I have mentally with that.
So, after Cookout, I talked with Kevin a lot. And he plays decks specifically that jam, right? Like Chatterfang is a deck that makes people have it. And he thinks he is a good enough player to make people have it and be able to read the situation to allow himself to do that. So playing decks like that has helped me in that situation as well, right? Like being able to like force myself onto a turbo plan, even though I'm not comfortable with it.
I mean, what did I do with farm?
Yeah, exactly.
I removed the option.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Like I have study, but like that's not really that good. We've all said that, right?
Yeah.
You still have time to crumb in the command zone. Take that final leap. Play Brea.
It is interesting to like force yourself to like, yeah, I guess like Logan put it correctly. Like you remove the option, right? And like
cut
in this
yourself
like
off the
Atraxalist, it's just like the whole my deck name is Mole for Skull. You know, like it's straight up is just like I don't think anything else is useful other than that. And if I don't find it, then if I'm at like a 3, then I can find a fish, right? Like, and it, like accept that the mulligans and the variants like sometimes doesn't allow you to win those games.
Heuristic Study is not in my deck because it's my favorite card in the format. It's in my deck because it's objectively good.
Yeah.
But that's where it like ends. It's like a transactional thing. It's like, okay, you know, you walk up, you're like, yes, handshake, study, great. And then like I'm not mulling for study.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess then like imagining a commenter saying, well, isn't keeping fish and Heuristic Study in still leaving the door open for something other than turbo? What would you say to that?
No, I think having those cards in your deck and like Esper Sentinel and some of these other like random draw engines, they give you the shovel to unbury yourself from the hole that you've digging yourself into when you're mulliganing low.
That
right?
is a powerful image. Yeah.
Like
or
taking
C4
like
or
like
C3.
Yeah, exactly. Like being able to build stairs into like or out of the hole that you've dug yourself. Right.
Our comment section is going to say, well, what if you have turn 1 study on the play? It's like, well, yeah, but how often does that happen?
Sure, yeah,
What's way
exactly.
worse is turn 1 Necro on the play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's you just win those games.
For sure.
And that's like fine.
Yeah, I feel like turn 1 Necro is way easier to have than turn 1 Heuristic. Dark Rip, baby!
Yeah.
we could talk about this all day. I do want to kind of fly through some stuff that I posted on Twitter, and I don't know why people like so much, but this was funny. Adam brought these like little tiny baby proxies, which are here.
Hilarious.
We were calling it baby farm all night.
That's so fun.
And I was like, basically like, you know, when the function allows proxies, but they don't specify what size.
Wait, are those sleeved too?
Yes, they are sleeved.
That's so good.
This is what I'm talking about when I'm like, no one knows how to aura farm like Adam does. This is like incredible.
Kevin walked over to the table at like 3:30 in the morning on Sunday morning, and we were all like kind of wrapping up. And he's like, "Oh, are those? Is that like, you know, baby farm that everyone's been talking about?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me see that." He shuffles it up, deals himself a hand. And he goes, "This is a turn 1 Necro." He's like, "Yes." And then he's like playing it out, like goldfishing it, and like he just has like these tiny little cards.
Yeah, you have to hold it like this.
So funny.
Shuffling is like it's like making your like hands kiss.
He's like, why do they shuffle so well?
they do shuffle really well.
And then obviously, like Austin on Gwenham, just an absolutely outstanding and
way to
stellar
go.
performance. I think you made an absolutely fantastic meta call. You practiced on the deck. Whether that was most of that practice took place in an airport or not is
Yeah, I mean,
shout out to Frontier just like being delayed 6 hours so I can play test this deck 160
not on the way to San Diego,
games.
but on the way for the previous event.
Yeah. Also, shout out Colin, dude. Like I said it a lot of times throughout this tournament, and like the week leading up to it. But like I don't think I would have made this call to go if he didn't leave me a 5-minute hype voice message and just being like, hey, like start your legacy and start it with Gwenham. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Colin is fucking awesome.
I love the guy, dude. He's awesome.
Yep.
He's awesome.
Yeah, Colin rules.
I'm kind of sad I didn't spend like that much time with him at this event, but I did get to see him a few times. It was nice.
But yeah, definitely proud of you, Austin. I remember a conversation that we had like a week or two ago where you were looking at other people's deck list on Moxfield and you're like, I feel like they just don't get it. Like they don't see what makes like Gwenham really, really good. And I was like, well, if you're gonna do that, like if you want to be the Gwenham guy, you should take it to Fishbowl. And you did.
Yeah.
And you crapped top 16. And so many games, I was like multiple table rows away from you. But I hear people go, I just lost to Gwenham. And then I would just see 4 people stand up, go grab lunch, come back, play for one game, take a nap, and then go. And it's just awesome, dude. Like you did a great job. You're a fantastic player. And I think I always love getting to celebrate people from the Colorado scene in general, but especially part of the critical team. You killed it, dude. Rock star. And then now it seems like you're moving right away from Turbo into Stacks. So,
So fuck you.
No, I truly I appreciate it. Like it really is amazing.
You had a lot of fast games. I think my only claim to fame for the weekend is that I think I had the single fastest game.
Yeah. You had an accidental reversed Oracle.
Yeah, we had a 5-minute judge delay, and then we finished first in round 1. I accidentally reversed Oracled. Basically, I had a gemstone, and in my hand were 2 other lands, a Git Probe, and Tainted Pact Decon. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll just like Tainted Pact on end step, and you know.
what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, and Thoracle was second from the bottom. So drew we'll put Thoracle in my hand from Tainted Pact, and then drew that last card for my second turn. Played a land. I thought the player in seat 1 was going to turn 1 Necro, turn 2 Necro, but instead they turned 2 Ristic Study because they didn't see the line for it, which is fine. It happens. But then
the card's so small.
They need to be paying attention to your Twitter posts.
no cards in library, right? Play my 3rd land because gemstone land for turn and then land for turn. Play Thoracle, and then the player in seat 1, Forrest, she's fantastic, but she kind of sheepishly asked, like, pay for Ristic? I was like, you know what, I could do that, so I paid for Ristic.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they died, so.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, I mean, I think Turbo is just definitely the name of the tournament. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like it was the correct meta call. I mean, we all thought this was going to happen, right? Like, the Turbo was coming, and...
Yeah.
I think we saw what happened, right? Like Fishbowl was Sylvie won on turn 2 in their top 16, and I think turn 2 or 3 in their top 4, right? Like,
yeah.
And she just put a peer into the abyss on the stack and said, "Yep, you guys got it. If not, then I'm winning this game." Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, you can criticize how I talk on Twitter, but before the event, I was like, if your plan is just mid-range going into Fishbowl, I think you're going to have a very, very hard time of making it into top 16. And I think the results show that is true, because I think there were 3 objectively mid-range decks that made it to the top 16. It was Evan, which is, it's Evan. No offense to anyone, but like, it's Evan Freedom Waffle Pierce. He is a fantastic GOAT. He's the GOAT, right? But he played mid-range Kitten, but he played fast mid-range Kitten. And what is mid-range Kitten anyway? That deck just shits out mana. And then we saw a couple farm lists, but most of them were turbo slanted. We saw a Dog Thrass, which is a mid-range deck, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I really do think that this tournament was a giant middle finger to Ristic Study.
Which is
Like,
fantastic. So
that-
don't ban Ristic.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason for it.
Like, truly,
Yeah.
that is how...
Only ban Thoracle. You can leave Ristic.
No, I can't turn 2 that way. I can't reverse. What am I supposed to reverse? Lab ban?
And then you have to wait another turn.
Oh, something that we probably don't have a slide for, but I just remembered. There is that top deck survey results.
Oh yeah, we'll talk
yeah.
about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're talking about it later, then
We'll talk
sounds
about it
great.
in another video. We got.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, let's rotate seats.
Bye, Eric. Love you.
Welcome back to Critical EDH. I'm
a
over
joke
here
guy.
now. There.
Yeah, I wanted to, obviously congrats to you, but congrats to Pigeon as well. I think he did a fantastic job and top 16 on Rall.
Yeah, I mean, Pigeon has just been absolutely cooking on that list. And I mean, I've been saying for a few months now that we needed a Rall pilot in Denver, and now we have one of the best players here on Rall, and it's a little terrifying for sure.
But I've seen him play Rall in a very technical manner, and I don't see a lot of other Rall players, despite their success, doing
Yeah.
that.
I mean, we talked about this with Tim last week. Like, Rall has a disgusting conversion rate. It's like 30% or something like that. It's
Dude.
very high.
In one of our, like, for all the old heads out there, like, 6 months ago, we did a segment on Rall, and their conversion rate was over 70%. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
I in the back of my mind, I've truly felt that Rall is like a top 3 deck in the format for a long, long time, and people are just now getting to it, right? Like that deck, I don't think I'm more scared than any other deck in the format right now.
I'm pretty close to agreeing with that. I think like people are, I think, somewhat opposed to non-deterministic Storm as an archetype, and that's what prevents more good pilots from playing it. But it's very, very good.
Dude, it goes through most interaction. Like me and Pigeon were in a game, and like someone was like, "Oh no, I have a Ristic Study," and both me and Pigeon were like, "Yeah, that'll keep you safe."
Yeah.
And like they just had win in hand already, so like that's why they were very okay with it. But like both Gwenum and Rall just push through interaction like crazy.
Yep.
And like Rall just is so resilient. You just eat like 6 counterspells, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
Yep.
I'm just punching a hole through the wall." You know, like there's no window theory with that deck. They make their own.
They make a window. Yeah.
Like, so I truly do believe that deck is the truth. Like that thing is insane. I am so impressed by that deck, and they're about to get Manamorphose. Like
That's so gross.
it's
Oh
yeah.
yeah, sure.
I was going to say, Jordan mentioned Strict Serenade, and I brought that up, being a card that would see like a lot more play. But Max P actually mentioned Blue Blast seeing more play. Because
Blue
it
Blast
hits,
is interesting.
It hits Rall, it hits Breach, it hits Atali. Like, what do you guys think of that?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that like having silver bullets in general is like questionable in our format. Like most of the time,
But is it a silver
don't
bullet
do
if most
it.
of the meta is like red shit?
like I mean, it hits breach. Like I don't know.
It hits Dargo
Yeah.
on the stack.
I don't
Please
think
counter
that
my Dargo.
matters most of the time.
Most of the time it doesn't,
Most of the
but
time.
sometimes the math doesn't work.
No,
Sometimes
but
that's
like it
true.
does hit Bergie, right? Like it hits
Yeah.
Bergie
Yeah.
that can be a combo piece.
It hits bombardment.
I don't hate it. I even though that Timno Dargo just won this event, and I think that it is a good deck, I'm still not super impressed by it yet. I do think this like turbo leaning stuff is way more interesting to me than the mid range stuff.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm not fully convinced on a Hydro Blast or a Blue Blast,
I think
even though I
Strix-
love the artwork.
I do think Strict Serenade makes more sense because it's less silver bullet. Like it still has a lot of application outside of just those things. And like, I don't know. I think we're gonna see a lot of people play Timno Dargo for the next month or two.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna see almost nobody convert on it because the floor of the deck is
It's
not very high.
Terrifyingly hard to play that deck.
Yes, it is. It is.
Like, yeah. I mean, they were talking about it on Bite Sized. Like, you shouldn't start your Mardu journey on Timna
you should
Dargo.
play Dahada.
You should play Dahada or Rog Timna
Yeah.
or like literally anything else but that deck because Dargo math is a whole nother part of Magic that you have to learn.
Yeah.
and you're just like, I don't know, like it literally, it's like terrifying, like watching how you're like, it doesn't play like a normal Magic card.
Also, I think there are other archetypes of Dargo that are hidden that aren't seeing play, because the core strength of Dargo is Dargo plus black.
Yeah.
It's not Dargo plus white.
Yep.
Correct.
And so, like,
By the way, Jund Dargo is real.
Jund Dargo is extremely real.
Yeah, and it's not being
so
played.
is Rakdos Dargo.
Yeah.
Let's like, I think people are not willing to push that boundary, but I really do think it is strong.
Yeah. I am. We've been seeing some Jund Dargo lists out there,
By some scary players.
and I'm like, what the fuck does that deck do?
Dude, if you
it
give,
does greater good.
Yeah, if you
and
give
it does
Jason-
Life's Legacy. It's just like,
We were on the plane, sitting in the before we were on the plane, it was me, Jason, and the two FOCO guys, Isaac and Josh. And Jason was like, we're about to board. I was like, let me see that Jund Dargo deck. Literally, first 7 was turn 1 Greater Good, turn 2 Dargo, rip 7, and like I was like, oh, this is
terrifying.
Wild.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a thing.
Yep.
We'll see if it has tournament conversions anytime soon.
All right,
But,
we got some more stuff to run through. I thought this is just
dude,
awesome.
that's Papa Squats and JJ.
Yeah, Nick says, this is all I want, man. Wins are great, playing in tournaments are great, but at the end of the day, making a CDH a positive experience for people is all I want. Thank you again for the kind words, JJ, and can't wait to do it again.
Dude, Nick and Ya both were like went so out of their way to be like, we did not get to spend enough time with you this weekend. We are sorry about that. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah.
And that was, Ya also was like, when my fiance and I were at dinner, he's like, here's what you need to do while Jordan's playing in the tournament. This is where you need to go. This is how you get there. Like, he was just so generous with his time and his energy. And I mean, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with Papa Squats. I did see JJ quite a bit though.
Yeah.
We kind of touched base with each other like every round. Yeah. He was playing Yoshi Thras on like kind of a weird Staxy build Yoshi Thras, and I don't think he had a very good time on the tournament. But just like the gathering, realistically, lobbyconning was so fun.
So fun.
And I did not get to do it very often, but just like going into the lobby to hang out for an hour and a half, and you're just like, what is happening? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that is truly why we go to these big tournaments, is the lobbycon and the hangout. And like, yes, we like to compete, but it wouldn't be the same if it wasn't against people that I thoroughly enjoy.
100%.
I also finally got to get a game against Ian this weekend.
Oh, nice.
And he saw me just full send a decon to my whole library gone. And he's like, yep, that's what I thought would happen. It was a 3. And he's like, yep, that checks out.
Yep.
I'm no Freedom Waffle, but I did take some photos at the event, and I like kind of taking, I mean, he takes excellent photos. I didn't have time to put the link up, but I got some good ones of, I mean, here's just the boys. This is
So this is our top 4 pod plus Max P.
Yep.
Yeah. Which,
And I think Higher, if you look very closely, that's Higher's shadow. He's like walking up.
yeah, it definitely is.
And then just taking photos of like random people. Like, you'll see people that are so happy in this set of photos, but like, I'm not like, oh, you guys need to smile. It's just people are just having a
hanging,
good time.
dude. Yeah.
Oh, this photo of Ya I thought was so funny.
I finally got to meet Ya too, and like, dude, like what you said, it's just like, he's a sweetheart. I love that guy.
Kyle's excellent as well. Like, I played against Kyle in round 6, and like, man, he was feigning that he had a Beseju the entire time for my breach line out. So I was like, fine, I guess I'll sequence correctly. Like, I'll go Savins from yard, target LED first, then target breach. And he's like, oh, dang, you really have it, don't you? I was like, I have a SWAT in hand, and I will play around your Beseju, whether you have it or not. You know, I didn't say that to him, but it turns out when I brain freezed him, the Beseju was in his brain freeze. But it's like, good on him for making me, play like that.
Making me play it out, yeah.
And
absolutely.
then of course, like, dude, Higher every time puts on an amazing event, and I've never seen a more dedicated lobbyconner than Higher.
Oh yeah, dude, I got to finally play a game against Higher, and he borrowed Notorious's Arkham deck.
Oh yeah.
And he like sequenced incorrectly, but you could just like see the wheels turning in his head, and you're like, oh, you've seen some shit in this format before, you know, like, and he's just he's a blast to play against. He's a great TO, just like.
But also asking people, what do you need? What can I do for you? How can I make this better next time?
And truly wants the best for the format, right? Like, we had a pretty long conversation outside, just us, and there's probably 10 people out there.
And then he would go back in and go, like, I gotta go judge real quick. And then immediately he'd be back outside saying, where did we leave off?
And just a riveting conversation with him and Baldy and a few others. And Max P was there. Like, it was just great.
You mentioned about, like, how he borrowed Notorious's Arkham deck. I vaguely hinted at Kodama Thras, and he was like, give me it. For sure. I was like, okay. And then he played it like the one night, like the first night for Lobbycon. And he was like, oh, this is really, really interesting. And then we sat down with Max P the second night to play some more games. And he's like, why am I even getting a deck out? Like, he's like, Logan knows what I want, and grabbed it, and then cooked us on it. Like,
I was watching that game. And just like he's like, all right, so you guys just lose, right?
And you guys lose on turn 3. Like, this is a lands deck.
In a format full of people who like love to get publicly angry about the format they supposedly love to play, Hire is like the giant lighthouse of just like this shit is awesome, and I'm so glad that people get to do it and like partake in it. And I think yesterday or the day before, he was in our Discord immediately, like still in the Fishbowl channel, like, hey guys, there's some like chatter in here about what went well, what didn't go well. Like, I have 30 minutes while I'm walking my dog right now. Who wants to hop in voice chat and like talk about the event with me?
In reality, I think Fishbowl, like this Fishbowl ran so well. I mean, there was some controversy with someone cheating against Jason that he fucking caught like a hawk.
Well, let's get to it. Oh, first of all, Jason did excellent. He got 5th. He didn't draw any games. He went 4-4-0.
By the way, Jason had one of the most incredible runs I've ever seen someone lock in for. The guy won, he lost to a liar in his game 1. I think he won his game 2, lost to a cheater, or lost a game with a cheater in it, game 3.
Yep, the cheater was DQ'd round 4.
So Jason went up to the TOs and was like, hey, I have a suspicion that this guy was cheating, like, kind of sus. And Hire just catches him immediately, trying to like stack his deck. And Jason's like pretty down, right? Like at the beginning of round 4, he was not happy.
Literally ill, like sick as hell.
That's normal Jason talk when it comes to a large tournament.
He wasn't as sick as we were at Heisenberg, but this dude was sick. Like,
well, he didn't take both Dayquil and NightQuil this time.
Jason's version of crossfading is very different than mine.
But like he was not feeling good. He was not. He was really upset about how he had been playing.
Damn, why does this? And my thing didn't change over. Hold on. I think the. Okay, we're only one tab behind. That's fine. We're good. Go ahead.
He was like not feeling good, not feeling well about his play. I've never seen him like this, like down on himself. And then the dude just locked in for his 3 games that he needed. He literally won his last 3 games, I'm pretty sure.
I gave him a really hard time in our game.
Yeah, I saw. You among other people as well.
But I mean, he got it. Like, he deserved it.
And then proceeds to be
and then
he
was in your game.
Yeah.
In top 16. Yeah. That's just bad.
I ran into a brick wall in top 16 because it's Jason that wants to be like mid-range, and Waffle that also wants to be mid-range.
Yeah. I think Jason was more
Comedian was in that pod too, right?
No, Ian was in another pod.
That's right,
Ian was in my game that's 7.
Right. Yeah.
But like, and they brainworms Notorious into mental misstepping my Mana Vault. Damn. But no, I ran into a brick wall, but I have nothing but good things to say about how Jason locked in for this tournament. Yep. And like to win 3 games in a row is bananas.
Yeah, and I was talking to Jason before this event. He had like such a explosive start to the year, and then kind of just middle of the year didn't have as much success outside of local stuff, and so for him to get where I know he really wanted to go here is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And he will tell you that he crashed out and did not do well.
Yeah.
Which is
Fifth out of
insane.
297.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I only made... His goal was top 4. And you're like, yeah, dude, you almost did it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I get it that, like, that is... Like, you should try to reach your goals, right? But, like, from where he was after 3 games in the Fishbowl to where he was destroying me in top 16, like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, I've never seen someone lock in like that. Like, it was wild.
Yep. Speaking of, I don't know how he has the brain capacity to catch people cheating, because I was using all of my brain just to exist in the tournament.
Yeah.
But he made this post. He said, hey, everyone, I wanted to share an experience I had at Fishbowl. You can read all this. We'll post it if you want. But basically, he said, I noticed a player behaving suspiciously while shuffling. And then after the match, he reported it to the head judge. And the judges independently investigated. Aside from Jason, it's not like Jason was, saying like, "Oh, look what he's doing." Like, he had another round to play. But then, the player was DQ'd for cheating, and like, we cannot have this shit in our format. Like,
Agreed.
It needs to stop happening. And if it doesn't, then like, I guess that's not fine. But we need to just act decisively and swiftly.
Yeah, it's this cheating pandemic's got to stop.
Yeah, it
It's
was
got to stop.
gonna say that we lost another local player, but that's not quite the right way to describe it. But
We had a player who seemed pretty promising.
yeah,
About like coming up into the scene, and I think a lot of us were trying to support him and saying like, I was encouraging him and talking to him about different decks and stuff like that. And then apparently he was also caught on camera cheating, and like, that sucks for our format.
Yep.
It sucks for our locals, We had another player who could have been potentially a top player, but now we won't know for another year plus.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole cheating thing, I don't understand it at all.
I get it. I think we all need to understand it. Like, we all understand from a perspective of you will do anything to win, but I don't think any of us are at that point where we need to do that to win. Like, none of us are that desperate.
Right.
Speaking of which, unfortunately, Defcat also came clean on some cheating on camera for like Play to Win's Chill to Win
They're
series?
chill to win stuff. Yeah, they're Patreon only content.
And also some other stuff about like financial stuff, which I'm not really privy to, but I think this is interesting given that Defcat really doesn't play in tournaments. I don't know what to say about this, but like, that's 3 kind of incidents in a whole weekend, and while we're not really involved with this one, I did want to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this video is getting a little bit of flack just because of some terminology, but I think like the idea is correct, right? Like, he came forward and basically apologized and explained the reasonings for it that are pretty like we can relate to, right? Like some
Mental health stuff
and some imposter syndrome stuff, and we all have had like these like thoughts creep into the back of our head of like, I'm going to be made fun of if I cannot convert this, right? And
but I think
certain people break under pressure, and I hope that when you break under pressure, you don't consider cheating.
yeah.
you need to decide how important Magic is to you.
Yeah.
And how important the people are that you meet through this game and through the format are to you. Because if those things are important to you at all, you cannot be doing these things.
Yep. I agree.
And that was one of the first conversations you and I had after joining Critical, was like, what matters the most is how we represent the format and like how we carry ourselves as players in the format. And I think that is more true now than ever, both from like a gameplay recording perspective, streaming of tournaments perspective, content creation, like all of that. It's really important that people have good role models and good like understanding of what it takes to be both a good player, but also a very like integrous and honest player.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like the leaderboard, right? Like that helps that conversation. Yeah. Like the fact is that in the championship series right now, Jason is at the top, and that guy is notoriously good at catching people cheating, right? Like Logan isn't cheating. I'm not cheating. Evan's not cheating, right? Like all of these people are not cheating and or lying. Like Zach.
Well, lying is a different, I think. different thing.
Sure. But like they're trying to hold themselves up with integrity, right? Yeah. And like Zach, like specifically talks about that on his podcast often about
but
being
I
like
think that's a personal decision that doesn't really affect this type of thing. Like the cheating is really a big thing. Like lying is always going to be a touchy subject because it's not against the rules.
Agreed, but I do think that like us as leaders, like if the Top Deck Championship Series is like what people are striving to do, I think that like the people that are towards the top of that leaderboard need to hold themselves with integrity. So like you can show people that there's a path without doing shady stuff.
What I worry about most though is the people that are at the top of the leaderboard that have no public presence. Because
that's true.
They're the biggest dark horses to me, and I don't know. Like you don't have a reputation to uphold. You can lie. You can be, any type of way. And we're just be the unknown, which is fine too, I guess, to an extent. But I think we have a responsibility because we're so front facing that we can't do those things.
I agree.
We also should just set the standard that like it's not what we want.
Yeah, agreed.
You guys ready to talk about this stupid ass deck,
dude? This deck. Well, first of all, this card is really good.
Crazy.
All right, go ahead, read, Jordan. If you can read the card.
Yeah. It's a 2 blue pip with X in its cost, bird spirit that has so many keywords.
Does anyone know how to? Is it just Wan Shitong?
Wan Shitong, yeah.
Okay.
Who has flash, flying, vigilance. When he enters, put X11 counters on him, then draw half X cards, rounded down. So it's like if Master of Keys was good. Whenever
that's
hurtful. Right there,
that's fucking hurtful, dude.
Whenever an opponent searches their library, put a 1/1 counter on Wan Shitong and draw a card. Like. Blue Archivist that pitches to force and also pressures life totals.
Dude, every
legendary.
single thing of this card is insane.
Yeah.
This might make Esper good again.
Do I agree with that statement?
Or better. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, sure.
I think this sees play in Esper. Does it see play in Farm? Probably
I
not.
mean, it sees play in any control shell, right? Like being able to hold this up with mana so that you have something to do at someone's end step, so you can convert that mana into cards is really good. And then it continues to convert into cards, and it's doesn't die to Bowmasters very easily, and it's a really good Tymna attacker. It's also a really good Tymna blocker. It's like, dude, there's so much about this card.
Why is it vigilant?
Like, like, dude, there's like 3 keywords on here that you're like, you didn't need to have all of these, like.
This probably goes in like Sky's farm list, right? Like a very control.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Let's be real though. The double blue casting cost is prohibitive sometimes.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. But it's also better because it's an archivist that pitches to all your pitch spells. Yeah. Like, what are we talking? This card's insane.
It's really cool.
It's really good. It's really good.
A lot of people have been talking about it just as a card that's going to see play in our format, which I think is very true. But anytime I see a legendary, I'm like, is there something there? And I really legitimately think that there is something here is for like a control shell as a deck. So I put a list together, haven't done any testing on it, but it's a little bit of light stacks, which I think Austin likes. And also just like you have a card draw engine in the command zone, and that's totally fine. Mm-hmm. We all know how Archivist like overperforms in many games when people play Archivist, and like, dang, like I'm drawing more cards off of this than Study sometimes. But people are just fetching with lands and tutoring, and Archivist is great, but this does the same thing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card. I'm a big fan of it trying to be a control shell. It might have a hard time to try to like convert wins, but I'm not convinced by that statement either.
I was just Arkham is a little bit different because it's a tutor chain deck in the command zone, but we just watched Mono Blue like chew people up this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Teferi is like the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Teferi made top 16, and it's like a Chain Veil combo deck.
Yeah.
By the way, I sat down into this pod like with Teferi, and I was like, I have no idea what this deck does. Guys, please help. And they like gave me a kind of a rundown. They're like, it's like a stacks combo deck, and I said, okay, that's every deck in the format. What does it really do, and what do I need to worry about with? Which the answer is, not much
Lots
when
of
you're playing
artifacts.
Wenham.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. I do think that mono blue, I mean, we're seeing a little bit more mono color decks do well in this format, which is really interesting to me.
So I haven't talked to you guys about this deck in particular, but let me give you a rundown of what I saw when I saw this card.
Yep.
Okay, so you rattled off all the keywords. Those are great, right? But this guy can protect Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
He can protect Karn. He can protect Narset.
Protecting Narset's really, really, really good. Protecting Karn, also very interesting to me.
But then you could add Displacer Kitten and reset your Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Then you go, well, maybe there's actually like an infinite outlet with this guy. Because if you make infinite mana,
Yeah.
you have 2 blue, you can cast and draw specifically the amount of cards in your library.
Which is, I'm assuming that's like where it's going to go, right? Because then you'll keep having that infinite mana outlet and you'll have 35 counter spells in hand and cast Walking Ballista.
Sure. But, but you've got Hullbreaker Horror, which you can resolve probably at some point if you're playing control.
Wait, is it a bird?
What?
The commander?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a bird spirit.
Fuck.
It
I'm not done
untaps
yet.
with
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Okay. So Ether Channeler is pretty good as a control piece, but it also combos with Displacer Kitten and a rock, so you can make infinite mana and use the bird as an outlet. Ether Channeler also makes birds.
Yeah.
Not irrelevant, but probably not relevant. The other thing is like you can just run random clones, and that's probably fine. Kitsa's seems good because it's a relevant type.
Kitsa Rev. Yeah, so you're on ISO Rev?
I'm not on ISO, but I am on reversal.
Kitsa Rev, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So Floodcaller is really cool.
Yeah.
Because Floodcaller will untap birds. And you
Yeah.
can run the Banishing Knack combo with this because you'll probably have your commander out. Then Floodcaller will come later, and you can just start Banishing Knack people and doing that at instant
disgusting.
speed, which is really, really cool. Unfortunately, you would have to find a way to kind of bounce the commander and then recast the commander at instant speed. But probably if you could make infinite mana.
Well, no. There's no. That's the end of your Banishing Knack loop.
What? Yeah, but
Bouncing your commander.
But no, I'm saying if you do it at instant speed, right? The commander is the end of that loop. but you
yeah,
have to do
your
that
commander
twice.
has flash.
Oh
dude.
yeah, it does. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
So
This card's
literally, this
insane.
whole thing just is instant speed.
Yeah. Okay. So the commander has flash. Let's remind ourselves of that. And then also like you just play every free counterspell that blue has, such
And
as
some 2 mana
Commandeer,
counterspells.
Daze, Disrupting Shoal. Yeah, we'll get to that. Fierce, Force of Negation, Force of Will. Mana Drain is an excellent card in this deck.
Yeah, after me and Jason were like, yeah, this is a fucking joke card in their format, but it is actually good in this deck.
Mana Drain is actually okay in control shells.
Yeah.
But especially in a mono blue control shell, you can Mana Drain.
The mana. Yeah.
And then the X is, so you make 6 mana, it's like draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
Sure, great.
Yeah.
Misdirection, Mindbreak Trap, Pongify, Rapid Hybridization for removal, Spell Pierce, Strict Serenade just feels right. Like you can play that. Guess what? You'll have more birds if you Strix your own thing. There are
That's cope.
birds for some reason. Yeah, I know.
It maybe wants the new counter spell. It's like the 2 mana Daze
Maybe.
from Avatar.
It also should be playing Days.
I think I'm on. It is on days.
Okay.
I was on delay for a moment, but then I needed to cut it for another some other stuff. But the other cool thing is Soul Cauldron.
Yeah.
This guy puts +1/+1 counters on himself. So you have inherent Soul Cauldron synergy. So if you fail Ballista line or Ballista ends up in yard, guess what? You activate Soul Cauldron, you automatically have the counters on your commander.
On your commander. Yeah.
You can put the counters on something else.
Is this why you're about to talk about Lantern control, like the Lantern package in here?
Yeah, so I just think there's so much room in the deck where you can play interesting, unique things. If you can slow the game down at all with effects like Grafdigger's Cage and Weathered Runestone, Winter Moon, the Harbinger of the Seas, where you can make everything islands, which you don't care about. And then like Lantern control, I mean, you get to play Field of Dreams and Lantern of Insight, so you can see the top card of everyone's library. You can start to predict and play the future game of like, or even just the politics of, hey, there's a breach on top of their library. Like, don't look at me. Don't worry about me. I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to stop that breach that's right there.
Do you think this is a Dream Halls deck?
What does that card do again?
It's a 5-mana enchantment that lets you cast spells for free by pitching spells of the same color.
Maybe.
I think.
Same color mana value.
I think it's the same color.
I mean, maybe. There's a lot of blue stuff in here, but they're also just mostly counter spells. So I think the deck is largely just trying to play the long game and slow it down enough where you can just play control. And like obviously we're on counterbalance.
Yeah.
Leyline of Anticipation I'm not sure about, but I think it feels okay. Just on the off chance you hit it.
I've been thinking more and more about the ley lines just with the format speeding up, that like if those 7 cards that you start with are the majority of what you see in your game, then like ley lines might be worth looking into.
I agree. I thought largely the same thing.
Yeah, I like truly I am thinking about putting Leyline of the Void into Gwenum because like I'm pitching the hand anyways most of the time. So like if I get a free Leyline out of it, that's perfect. But going back to your deck, I do see a Vexing Bauble in there, which I want to take credit for because I've been speaking the praises of this card for a long fucking time, and now
I think Bauble's excellent.
So many people are on it. Well, it's so good.
And we know it's restricted in other formats.
Yeah.
Right. So like
it's banned in Legacy.
Really, yeah. And then it's on top counterbalance. I think that's
countertop is kind of sick.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Very free. Dress down again. Just another good control piece. My pet card, Psychic Surgery, is so stupidly good in this deck.
I don't know what this card does.
Whenever an opponent shuffles his or her library, you may look at the top 2 cards of that library, you may exile one of those cards, then put the rest on the top in any order.
That's kind of a dick move, but also kind of funny.
Yeah, it just stops top deck tutors.
Oh, are you on Downpour?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, Downpour's right here. Again, Field of Dreams, top card of each player's library is always face up. You play like a pretty tight land package of just decent stuff. I think E-Zone could probably come out, but like Ancient Tomb City.
You should think about Peter Parker's camera in this deck.
Why?
No.
Because it can double trigger your commander to draw X.
I just don't think that draw X is going to happen very often.
Yeah,
I think the commander is really just going to be like, oh, you play it and then you get draws from the tutors.
Yeah.
Sure.
And like I'd rather not like put a bad card in the deck to. Unless it like combos with something, then maybe.
I'm sure it can.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it can. Also, how many artifacts are you on?
Sorry, the thing froze again. Hold on. We are on 23 artifacts and we're on Mishra's Workshop.
Okay. One thing I was impressed with this weekend was Arkham getting so much mana from Metalworker as well.
Yeah.
But I do think your artifact count's like not quite Metalworker worth it.
No. And there's not a whole lot that is here that is super necessary.
Yeah.
But right now I think the list feels like pretty tight. Like I think it's got a good plan, can grind out through the mid game and play really, really hard control.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you have to Flare of Denial, something like, okay, like all your creatures are blue. Like
yeah. And sending your commander to the zone is like not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's fine.
Like it's fine because you can just recast it eventually.
And right? It's also on Unwinding Clock. So in case you do get those shredding artifacts, if you get that engine assembled, man, you are locking in the game.
Yeah.
It's not a hard lock, but it's really, really hard to get through that.
Mm-hmm. Are you how many islands are on? Just like basics?
I think we're on 10. Yeah, 10.
Okay. I was gonna say, is this a High Tide deck, but not at that count?
It's also on Seed of the Synod, just on the off chance that we get that artifact untapped with.
Are you on Opal? I'm assuming you're on Opal with that many. Yeah, many artifacts. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think this deck's really cool. I'm a control player at heart, and so stuff like this just like it tickles my fancy, right? Like,
also it's just cool. Mm-hmm. Like I like exploring this archetype, and I think that we miss Talion, whether we all like it or not. Yeah. I think Talion, when Talion's in the format, it was a good spot. Like the format was also.
Yeah, I mean, like truly, this deck is like a true land go type deck, or it can be, and I think that's something that format is like missing right now too.
I don't think any deck wants to run into this interaction package.
No, absolutely not.
40 counter spells or something. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know. My Rogtev deck that I'm building might not care about this.
Out of here.
Hey, if you get your Blood Moon off first, I'll just Harbinger back.
That's true. That is true.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I'll just land a Contamination instead.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be in this spot.
I also think I think it has like the genuine ability to go pretty fast too.
Yeah, for
depending on
sure.
the circumstances, it could. Yeah, so I don't know. If you like the list,
Ooh, wait. Have you thought about putting Illuge in this deck?
I don't know what that is.
It's like ELUGE. It's like a Eluge, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of blue pips, so that's the only reason why I'm
True.
asking.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could maybe play the new Bloodbending card in here too. It's 4 blue pips, but then you control someone during their combat phase.
That's weird.
And then for
Swing
Waterbending,
into my vigilance creature.
well, Waterbending 10, it's Emrakul.
Oh,
So then you just control them on their next turn.
jeez.
Yeah.
But like,
Also, have you thought about Emrakul in this deck?
I have like
Yeah. Like legitimately, I think that the Emrakul might be worth a
these
check.
controlling options and weird cards like that. I think are
Or Wandering Archaic.
just sure.
Yeah. Stuff like that is really interesting.
Backbreaking.
I think Wandering Archaic like alone helped me a lot in this tournament.
Perplexing Chimera.
I fucking love a good old Chimera. You didn't play in the format when Chimera was the thing.
And
have you
Homeward
seen what
Path?
this card does?
no.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
Kinnan players used to play it in combination with Homeward Path.
Yeah.
So you could trade Chimera for any spell in the stack and gain control of the spell and retarget a spell.
Yeah.
It's a creature.
Yeah.
But then you could use Homeward Path to regain control of your Chimera.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is when like Kinnan was on flips, and like
Yeah.
that was, I need my flips so I can get my interaction, and their interaction was Chimera, and it's like, I want to kill myself. like it's so rough. That Chimera was.
Yep.
I do love a Chimera, but it does just.
It's brutal.
Yeah. It makes the game of Magic that you're playing not a game of Magic. Like.
So I think we're running close on time here. We've been recording for a while and we started a little late, but I think Austin and Jordan, if you guys want to give a little update on the league, just finishing out October and what we have coming up for November.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few more days left on the league. I finally got the cards right to the Alterists, and they're starting to work on them. They're doing a little bit more, what's it called? For, I guess, the September league, they're doing a little bit more commander-focused alters, so they're waiting on that. And then Hummingbird, I just sent those out. But I'm stoked to see how they're working out. And then in the league for next month, hold on, I have notes. Give me a second. While
Austin's looking that up, we are ending near about 555 to 556 players this month. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can roll that over in that momentum into next month.
Oh, I will say also, and this is just like kind of a negative thing, but we did have to ban a player just for like toxic behavior.
Yep.
It's unwelcome in the league.
Yep.
As the league grows, obviously, and the pricing is better and better depending on what month it is, and our sponsors and whatnot. Obviously, things can get heated, but that's kind of stuff, and respect for judges specifically is just not welcome.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not welcome. And so,
and we're willing to take decisive and swift action on it.
Yeah. We're over it.
We
Honestly.
had one other player remove themselves from the league after I proposed a 1-week suspension for him based on his behavior as well.
Yeah.
So like we are trying to stay very vigilant and maintaining the environment that we would want to play in. And like you said, it's just not welcome.
And likewise, if you play in the league and you're like, dang, I had a really bad experience, we want to know about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like put
Please
in a
tell
ticket.
us.
Like put in a ticket
Yeah.
because the judges and ourselves, like we are all taking that stuff like very seriously.
And it's good for the health of the league overall, like if we can squash these problems before they come out of hand.
Yep.
And then for next month, we are partnering with Double Sleeved MTG and Wizards and Warlocks. They're both launching their Patreon. I think, did Double Sleeve launch it yet?
I don't know. They'll both be live.
They're both going to be
within
live.
days of this.
Yeah, they'll both be live at the start of the month for sure. And pricing, we're going to have Ancient Tomb and Arcane Signets altars by Clone Gwyn, which he's getting his altar business set up. He's a San Diego local that I got to talk to a little bit. And they've been kind of doing a lot of tokens and digital art along with altars. There was an altar kind of floating around with Crick. There was like a black and white style, very creepy art that was floating around our Discord that I really liked, and we got in touch, and they're doing the altars for next month. We are also getting a metal poster card from the Manava Proxies for whoever wins the league. There's going to be entry into Royal Rumble, which is going to be in January.
The list never ends.
Yeah.
it's yeah, and then obviously we have the Land Go continuation.
Yeah, the Land Go continuation, and then we also have. We kind of just did a really interesting idea. Kind of me and Eric did, where at Fishbowl we went to like some of the creators and found like what their known cards are, or at least their like signature cards are, and like got them to like doodle on them and sign them. Give me a couple examples. So like for example, Zach Adler, we got him to like doodle on a Mayhem Devil. We got Waffle to get a Drift of Phantasms and stuff like that. By the way, shout out Zach for making me laugh so hard, because I gave him the idea. I was like, oh hey, like this is our idea. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll think about Mayhem Devil. And I was like, that sounds great. And he hits me up like 10 minutes later and he's like, actually, never mind. My favorite card and my signature card is a Beta Time Twister. And I was like, no, absolutely not. That's not how this works. Yeah, I mean, so it's just like really cool.
Sure, you
like,
buy it, Zach. That sounds great.
Like Kyle from That's a Good Card, like he did Corvold and like just some really cool things, and we'll probably like snake draft those. We'll see how it goes.
Nice.
But yeah, that's surprising, and some partners and stuff like that for next month.
And the full announcement for November will be out soon. We're still working on it. We've just had a busy week with Fishbowl and lots of other stuff. Yeah, it's just been awesome. It's been kind of a whirlwind, to be honest, but it's great.
Yeah. But I think that's it for the league updates, at least for next month.
This is the second week we did not get to questions from viewers.
Sorry.
But
we're yappers. Did you guys know that?
We'll have to continue to put out some more content in between, keeping tabs to backfill some of that stuff. And we'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, we could even maybe try to get in the threads on Adnos and answer some of them directly.
Yep.
Just in the meantime.
Nice.
Well, we had a blast at Fishbowl, and if you met us there, awesome. Like we love meeting everyone.
Yeah. Dude, I got to meet the GOAT, Joopy.
Yeah.
He did Vexing Bobble me on turn 1, and I just attacked right into it, but I got to meet the GOAT.
Joopy was behind Jason, like just watching him play in Lobbycon, and I was watching this, and Jason's like, oh, I never met Joopy, that's cool. I was like sitting at a table far away, and I was like, I wonder how long this is going to happen before Jason realizes or like asks who this person is that's like breathing out of his deck.
Funny.
And it was like half an hour, and I was like, Jason.
That's
like,
Joopy.
He's like, what? I'm like, that's Joopy. And he's like, oh! My other favorite story from the weekend was, hopefully I get this name correct, but I'm pretty sure it was Logic Knot walked up to me right before the tournament started, and he goes, hey, I think I have a card you want. And I was like, okay, what card is that? And he pulls out a Japanese foil prophecy heuristic study.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so sick.
I was like, damn, you're correct.
You know my language.
So we put together a good trade for that, and that was awesome. But I just love those interactions. It's really cool.
I'm trying to think of any like my favorite stories from Fishbowl. I don't know. I was giddy making top 16. That's all I'm gonna say.
Eating too many tacos was great.
The taco card was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. Also, just in general, the food in San Diego, I've missed it, dude. Like I've been singing the praises, like living in Denver. I'm like, man, and I know this hurts to say because this is where I live now. The food sucks here, dude.
It's not very.
It doesn't.
It's not anywhere close to San Diego food.
I can understand that, but the food doesn't suck here objectively because I came from where the food sucks.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's also gotten like way better in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's getting better.
Yeah, but man, the food in San Diego, especially like near the venue,
dude,
it's just like, oh, it's so much good food.
We found, I don't know if I still have this up. Yeah, I do. I think I do. Not this picture, Jason. Okay, we'll end on this. We went to this place called Angry Pete's. Dude, this place was a Taco Bell, and they turned it into a Detroit pizza place.
Yep. Oh, hell yeah.
And like, their logo is like an angry Taco Bell.
That's so funny. I love it.
Yeah, to our customers, we check our restrooms every 30 days to make sure they're ready for
so
you.
fun.
But they had like stickers everywhere. Everything is like Detroit style and Detroit staples and different stuff. But this place was just so good. And like, dude, the aesthetic is just unmatched. Yeah. The vibes were
Oh,
like...
dude, it's still got like the...
Yeah, it has like...
It still has the Taco Bell
It's all
booths. That's so funny.
vaporwave,
dude,
and the
that's
pizza was incredible.
That whole style's like coming back though. Like that
Yeah.
vaporwave thing is, and I dig it.
This is the perfect picture to end on. This is JJ putting Sissay in the trash.
So true, dude. So true. Actually, I still think Chowder's good. But
Yeah, Chowder's good.
But Trad, throw it in the trash.
Yep.
Yeah. Unless
right.
you're Jeremy Davis, then
Then you're just the goat.
you're just the goat. Yeah.
He'll never see this, which is why we can say
I
that.
know, that is true. The guy just has no online presence.
All right.
But yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think
See
so.
you guys next week.
Yeah, sounds good.